Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the OpenShift TV Coffee Break here at OpenShift TV. My name is Natale Vinto. I'm a product marketing manager for OpenShift here at Red Hat, and I'm with my awesome colleagues and our super guest today, because today we're going to talk about the winners of the Red Hat Hackfest. Before we go into the quick introduction of everyone today, let me introduce my co-host Fabio. Hi, Fabio. How are you?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm well. Thank you, Natalie.
That's
Nice
great
to
to
meet you
hear.
again.
And before we go into the round of questions between Red Hat Partners, Hackfest winners, let me introduce also the Red Hat team. Andrea and Iveta. Hey, how are you, folks?
Hey, Natale. How are you doing? Thanks for hosting us today. My name is Andrea Battaglia from Italy, 7 years in Red Hat, and I'm the Red Hat Hackfest lead. We'll talk about many interesting things today, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks. So, hi, Natalie. Thanks for having us. Hello, everyone. I am also from Red Hat. My name is Iveta Babulenkova. I am part of the email business development team and working with partners across email on different initiatives and offerings, and really helping partners to get closer to our technology. So happy to be here. And yeah, let's move to the next, maybe Matti.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to all the people in the chat. Please, if you have any question, please send in the chat. We will report during the stream. Now it's time to present you the team that will and all the participants of the Hackfest. Who wanna start the introduction round?
I think I can start.
Perfect. Welcome, Dan.
Okay. Hi, I'm Dan Freimann. I'm an IT consultant from Viada, and we are based in Germany, Dortmund. And I'm happy to be here, and I hope we have a nice conversation.
Welcome.
Cool. I'll go next. Hi, everyone. I'm Sigan Davis from LSD Open. We're a remote company. A lot of our people do come from South Africa, which is where we also have most of our customers, but we do operate across EMEA. So, yeah, trying to work all over Africa, Europe, and Middle East. Thanks for everyone. Thanks for this opportunity. Good to meet everyone.
Awesome. We have also people from South Africa and also a guest from South Africa. I guess let you hear your voice in the chat, please, folks. Let's continue our round. Who wanna go next?
Yeah, maybe should I present myself? I'm Dennis Giryounas. I'm representing the company Piros. We are also a company that is based in Belgium. And as you suspect, we do a lot of Red Hat and open source project with our company. And I'm also looking forward to talk to you all guys about this Hackfest project. So hi.
Awesome.
All right, I'll go next. So, hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Matti. I work for Intel. We were one of the sponsors working together with Red Hat for this fantastic event. So excited to be here. Excited to talk to you all about why we've done that and what we're doing together in this space. So looking forward to the next hour. I got my Intel coffee with me, so I'm good to go.
That's the spirit for the coffee break. I hope you all have your coffee shot, because there's a super interesting talk today.
Yeah, thanks, Matty. So I've joined from Intel side as well. My name is Tim Olszewski. I play a role of a solutions architect. I'm also one of the co-founders of one of the ventures inside Intel. Usually day-to-day focus is around AI, but I'm also happy to be here. So thanks a lot, Andrea, for having me. I'm looking forward to the discussion.
Awesome. Very interesting. Also, the AI with this edge use case. So looking forward to hear more about all what you do in the Hackfest. So, Andre, I think we finished the round of presentation. It looks we have a very good agenda today. Do you want to start talking? Tell us, what is the Hackfest? And I'm going to put in the chat also the link of the Hackfest page. So everyone that attending today the show and the people that will watch the recording also that will be available on the OpenShift YouTube channel will see what is the Hackfest. Andrea, do you want to introduce the Hackfest?
Yeah, thank you, Natalia. And if you could share also the screen,
right,
we could give to our audience a quick overview of what we do in the Hackfest with our sponsors from Intel and with our partners participating. So we started 2 years ago already, Iveta, myself, and a few other fantastic colleagues, because we wanted to give to our ecosystem a hands-on experience on real use case scenarios. So we wanted not just to promote products, but give to products and technology a business meaning, right? And this could be done, of course, with workshops, with webinars, but there must be, in our opinion, a more extended activity and midterm activity. So that's why the Hackfest is an environment where partners and sponsors join Red Hat to work together on use cases. So we focus on different verticals, event by event. And before the event, we do a lot of work in our community. We funded in order to support the technical side of the Hackfest. These, of course, turns into opportunities, an extended source of knowledge as well that could be used by Red Hat ecosystem, but also by other communities and companies interested in the enterprise version of technology from Intel and Red Hat, supported by Red Hat ecosystem. And the slides you are looking at here is a quick overview of the use case. We decided to go during the last Hackfest for the edge manufacturing vertical. So thanks to our friends from Intel, we have been able to provision enterprise-grade hardware. So you can see in the picture on the bottom left of the slide, a Fit2 device powered by Intel technology and Intel NUC, of course, that have been used to run enterprise technology. So we had the chance to train our ecosystem on RHEL for Edge, how to roll it out, single node OpenShift, how to operate that. And of course, the data center side was sponsored by Red Hat and on top of IBM Cloud. We covered the platform, we covered the hardware behind underneath, but we covered also some important topics like security. Just to give you an overview of the technology stack. So again, the hardware, Fit2, Intel NUC, and IBM Cloud. The platform on top, so the Red Hat platform with RHEL for Edge, single node OpenShift, and OpenShift container platform, but also what it's meaningful for generating revenue, which means software, business logic. So we, of course, adopted the Quarkus framework, the Red Hat build of Quarkus, together with AMQ streams, and several Red Hat runtimes, which means give flexibility, implementing something that is cloud native and that is scalable potentially to other platforms. And the last slide is to talk about the community behind the Hackfest. This community is joined by subject matter experts that could belong to Red Hat, Intel, IBM, the Red Hat ecosystem, and some fantastic technology experts from outside the Red Hat ecosystem, which means we are keen to have debates, we are keen to have discussions, and we are keen to get as much info as possible when it's about implementing proper edge computing use cases. And that's all from my side, Natalia.
Yes, Andrea, I was going to share also in the chat the link to the community, the Quarkus for IoT. So 1 second, because I would like to share also in the chat the link for the slide you just. But in the while I do this, thanks for this introduction. I think it's really useful to understand what's the Hackfest about, and and it's cool to have also all our partner and our technology partner here from Intel that joined the Hackfest. At this point, Andrea, so the Hackfest, the people joining this community, the Red Hat partners joining this community. We have our technology partner that also helped the community with hardware and guidance. I would like to know first, do you want to tell us who won this Hackfest? We want to celebrate them. Do you want to introduce the winners?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Hackfest, again, probably I missed that, is a competition. Of course, we want to train, we want to work together, we want to create awareness, but it's also a nice and funny competition. So we actually accept teams in the event. It's not just for single personas. And the winners of this third event, sponsored by Intel, are Viada, who got the third place in the ranking. Then we had Piros, who got the second place in the ranking, and then LSD Open from South Africa, who got the first place in the ranking. I must say I got amused by them because they did far beyond what I expected to. It's not just, again, being technical. It's all about giving a business meaning to what we do. So we implement one use case, so the Red Hat team, together with the Intel team and the community, implement some use case. We remove some bits and pieces from here and there, and we ask our participants to complete the solution. Most of the times, team participating in the event, they add some more potentially visual aspects or intelligence to the solution. So it's definitely not having one single thing implemented. It's tailoring the solution for the partner business need. So that's basically it. And let me thank again our fantastic partner teams here.
Awesome. Iveta, do you want to add something about what the opportunity with what is the opportunity for the Red Hat partners joining the Hackfest? A part of the visibility, of course, of OpenShift TV. What do you think would be the other opportunities?
Yes. So first of all, also let me thank to all the three winners, and also I would like to thank you for their active participation, because you have to imagine that for partners it's really a commitment to take part in the Hackfest, because they need to actively participate. But they will learn and they will gain a lot. On one hand, it's of course knowledge, extending the relationship with Red Hat and with our technology partners like Intel this time. They will have a hands-on, the first-hand experience with what's actually cooking with our technologies and how they can use it in real projects. So what I saw from the partners, and because as Andrea mentioned, this was already a third run of the Hackfest. So we see that the partners are really using the knowledge that they gain. They even extend it in some cases. They are coming with questions of real business cases and actually the topics, project that they see and that they are working on with different customers. This goes from retail, this goes to telco, this goes to, of course, FSI. So it means banking industry. So it's really a unique opportunity for partners, not only to learn passively, but to also apply what they learn in, let's say, real life or in real projects, real opportunities. And I hope that I'm not very far from the reality, because we have our three partners here which can talk about their experience and hopefully to confirm what we see. So yeah. Really.
Yeah, thanks, Iveta. I will also hear from them, no, from our partners, from our technology partners. So let's do this round of questions. So I would like to start from the winner, LSD Open, because in the chat there your supporter is really hot. Let's say South Africa, go South Africa. So let's celebrate the first place, the winner, LSD Open. Sigan, what's your experience with the Hackfest? I guess this is first time you joined the Hackfest. What was your experience? What are the outcomes?
Yeah. So thanks everyone in the chat for your support. Glad you joined us. I think Hackfest for us was a cool opportunity. We jumped straight into it when we got the opportunity to enter. Because Edge for us is becoming a bigger and bigger opportunity. So like Iveta mentioned, we have existing customers with on-prem or cloud Kubernetes or OpenShift. And we've been looking at how do we take that to the edge. So the Hackfest presented us with the opportunity to really upskill and learn from industry leaders like Red Hat and Intel about that kind of stuff. And I think what excited us the most was probably just really having hands-on experience. So building something that can actually test those use cases, like latency, compute at the edge, what that looks like, what does disconnectivity look like. So for us it was an exciting opportunity. And then when we actually got into the Hackfest, I think when we were first presented with that architecture by Andrea, I think we were like, wow, do we have to build all of this? We didn't understand yet that we had to only build a component or two here and there. So we were like, okay, we're going to have to start dedicating manpower to build out everything. But as we went into the drop-in clinics and everything like that, we soon realized that there's only parts that we need to build. But it was really enjoyable. We learned quite a lot from it.
Thank you, Sigan, for sharing
I
it.
do have a question for our winner. It's not about the technology, but it's about the process that brought you to win the competition. In Red Hat, we truly believe that technology, yes, is a key tool, but collaboration and an open organization is as at the same level as technology. So the question is, what was the key point that allowed you as a team to win in terms of collaboration? Regarding collaboration, the way you collaborate each other, consider the fact that probably when you were involved in the Hackfest, meeting each other was not that easy, like in, let's say, normal time. So if you can just advise or suggest something that could help our people that is watching this OpenShift Coffee Break to work in a daily life, mainly when people is spread around and you're not in the same room.
Yeah, I mean, LSD is completely remote. So we don't actually even have offices. So for us, we just kind of had to start dedicating time to it. We also had, customer work to do, so we couldn't just stop what we were doing and focus on this. So it's just about like setting time aside to work on this and work through the problems, and then kind of picking up parts where we thought could work. I think if we look back at what we could do better, I think we could probably pick up items earlier and start working through them and separating tasks between the team. I think there's already a lot we can improve, but from our side, it was really just setting time aside. Even during work hours, our company kind of believes in open source and community. So we don't just want to say, cool, you have to do customer work during the day, and then at night or on the weekend, focus on this. They allowed us to have time during custom hours because we want to work with Red Hat and make a good show of LSD. So that was definitely something we used to make this happen. And I think not only from internally, but leaning on the drop-in clinics. I think those are a huge help for us, kind of upskilling on the parts that we were a bit fuzzy on. So just also reaching outside of just LSD, which was a big difference for us.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Andrea, it looks Andrea, Fabio, looks and everyone, it looks like that was good, the building of a community, the drop clinic, the Slack channel. We will talk also about the Slack channels. So this community joined this competition in a collaborative way. It looks very cool, and I would like to hear from Piros, the second place. So Dennis, do you want to share what are your feedback about what do you think about this Hackfest?
Yeah, for us, it's already the second time that we participate in the Hackfest. And I must say, I think already Dan mentioned it the last time. The way it's organized, how this community works, it's really fantastic. It's just like the documentation, the responsiveness. When we have questions, they're always being answered that quickly and very clear. It is really amazing to work in this community. And we had fun the first time. That's also why we did now the second time again, because we really had fun and learned a lot. So that's our experience so far. So
Glad to hear that it's second time, Andrea. So you have also people that like to come back into the Hackfest and enjoy the competition again, because again I think Andrea will also share after we do this quick round of a question what is the community behind the Hackfest. But I already hear some good feedback about the community and how it works, Andrea.
And also, Natalia, let me say that Piros won the second edition of the Hackfest.
I remember. I remember because each time for each competition, we invite the winners here at OpenShift TV. So it's a pleasure to have you folks again here, and I hope to see you also in next edition. Before that, let me also ask to Dan, which is representing Viada. What is your feedback about the Hackfest? How did you found this Hackfest?
Okay, so overall, it's also I think it's the second time for us. It was a really, really fun event. I also thought that the communication was really great. In Slack, I posted a message or a question or anything, and then like 5 or 10 minutes later, I got an answer not only from one person, but from almost like half the participants. So it's great also to see the experience from other teams, how they were struggling, also on the same points as we were. So yeah, it was overall really fun.
Super. Thank you for sharing those feedbacks. And after the round of the participant, I would like also to have the feedback and ask the same feedback to Matti and Tim, our for Intel, our technology partners. How was this Hackfest for you folks?
Yeah, for me, it was the first time, actually. I think it's the first time that we did Intel and Red Hat participating in a Hackfest. It was a fantastic experience. It was a little daunting, to be honest, because there's a lot of preparation that goes into this, that particularly Andrea and Yvette and the Red Hat team put into this. So job well done. It was amazing to see. From an Intel perspective, it's one thing to talk about technology. It's another thing to actually do it and to take the learnings. And when we develop technology and we work with technology, we have certain things in mind and goals and capabilities that you can build. But when you actually start to use it, the magic of technology and people, it kicks in and it starts to create all sorts of ideas. And I think Hackfest is just a great catalyst to do just that. Edge computing is a big topic. It's right there on the hype cycle. A lot of people are talking about it, but here we're actually doing it. So for me, it was really exciting to be able to sponsor this, to help out. It was great to see our products being used. I would say being pushed to the limit by some of you. But that is fantastic. I'll hand over to my colleague Tim, who is the brains of the operation, here. But I think it was overall fantastic, and I hope that for all the participants, you had a good experience using the Intel products. And I just hope we can do more of this because, it's just interesting to see how this is being used and how the capabilities are being leveraged. Tim.
Thanks a lot, Matti. So that was also the first time for myself as well, and I think due to the fact that industrial control world has remained quite largely unchanged for several decades. Looking into this kind of events is a must-have for most of the industry part, and although the fact that those solutions have worked well for many years, customers are largely increasing their dissatisfaction. And seeing a Red Hat being a forefront of the technology change, driving innovation through these kind of events, and having a creating a community of the real world case, bringing in the developers and binding all the forces. I think this is a rare thing that we see across the industry, and I would like most of the partners that we work with together to take the advantage and leverage this kind of experience as well. Well, from the operational standpoint, I think Hackfest was perfectly prepared. I mean, there are of course some of the new features that I would love to see in the future being incorporated, like artificial intelligence, of course. But I was amazed to see how this is going this year, and all the help during the clinics that all the participants got. That was just amazing job.
Thanks for sharing also your feedback. And I also wanted to share that I have my NUC and I installed the single node OpenShift on the NUC. So I also joined. It's very cool. It was very cool, and it's also an opportunity to talk about, Andrea, single node OpenShift. So this flavor of OpenShift that you can install, and it's optimized for edge footprint. There are also other development in the edge footprint. We're working on one open source project called the Microshift. It's a very optimized version of OpenShift. But the single node OpenShift, let me put also in the chat the link, is what we use today for running Kubernetes container workloads for the edge, optimized for the enterprise. And that was what we used also for the Hackfest. I was really happy to have all this set up. And Andrea, from the feedback, it looks like it was very good to have the drop clinic, the Slack channel. So I think this third edition, I think it become more and more mature, and the community is growing, right?
Yeah, Natalia, you are perfectly right. So I would like to connect your question to what Matti and team said earlier. So the concept of community is key, because we need a community to create what they are used to be called in the enterprise world, the 80% solution, right? So of course, edge computing is a huge topic. The marriage between Intel technology and Red Hat technology is the key and the way to go. But that 80% solution means you focus on a vertical, you create a POC, not a demo. We don't do demos, we do POCs, which means they could definitely and easily be the base for all the projects that belong to that vertical or can fall into that specific business area, edge manufacturing, energy, and utilities. Another big work we are doing with the community and with our friends from Intel is to create modules. Security is a big topic, and thanks to the standards existing in the both upstream and enterprise IT world, we can reuse the technologies. So the preparation is huge on the second run. Now we are going, and we will discuss that on March the 9th in the episode about the community members and the community leaders. It's always worth to invest in the future. And this is what we did with Tim and Matti, right? So I'm so thankful to have Tim here because he is an expert in AI/ML. AI/ML, and this could be also an open discussion, of course, is part of edge computing, but there's this very special area. So that's why we decided to go for RHEL for Edge and single node OpenShift. They help with scaling at the edge server, scaling at the edge device. We could also include some sensors, some data flow that can demonstrate how artificial intelligence can help with specific areas, right? So Intel hardware helps and is again the perfect match for AI/ML. what I want to underline is the ability now from the Red Hat perspective to roll out single node OpenShift, to roll out Red4Edge. We have amazing new tools that help with building images and rolling them out into several devices. In the community, we are also working, for example, on PXE boot or no storage installation, which means more flexibility, less issues that could come from, I don't know, disk that could fail. And these all goes as an advantage to our end customers, right? So we want to prove the technology together with the ecosystem from Red Hat, together with Intel, and then give the whole package to the end customers, which means in turn from the business perspective, having one single point of contact, which means from the business perspective also having a group of actors or companies already working together, already used to share information, to give mutual support, and working in a trusted environment. So this is actually what the Hackfest is trying to build. And this, of course, and for this it's compulsory to have Slack as an internal environment where people that can continuously exchange information and ask questions, like Dan said. And of course, in the community, joined, of course, for example, by Sigan recently, we have subject matter experts that look at the latest and greatest from the technology. So Hackfest is not reinventing the wheel. We are not reusing or showcasing what Intel or Red Hat has already done or demonstrated. We are going into the future of the technology that can be useful to edge computing projects.
And this future, I think Tim will agree, no? It will include also artificial intelligence, no? The connection with ML. I think if we talk about the future, all this data from the edge, need to be processed. Can be also used for, train a model and connect ML workload, AI workload. Tim, do you see any connection for future workloads like this?
I mean, using AI models in some point in the future, depending on, of course, your level of preparation and whether the end customer is prepared to adopt AI nowadays. We see many customers being still reluctant on it, and it's usually based on the fact that their infrastructure is not capable of running those workloads still. But utilizing things like a single node OpenShift could leverage capabilities to the level where those end customers will be able to use AI/ML as well. And I would say this is an inevitable part of the future of industrial systems. At some point, you got to have some insight into the data, and there's so much of it that just isolating that data and keeping them in silos is just a waste of information.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Make sense of that. I know. Make sense of that. If we can do the acclaim, we need to make sense of that, and we need tool to that. Oh, let me look at the chat because we have some interaction in the chat. There's, for instance, I want to mention there's Nila that was say great overview from Iveta, and there's Clive and Sean that was congratulating with the winner. So we have a very active audience. Please keep commenting, and if you have any question, please report. So we will send to the people participating. Again,
sorry for interrupting you. Regarding the IML topic, I think it just is not an official announcement, but we are probably gonna starting a series about IML in OpenShift Coffee Break. We can just do a sort of a small announcement in the next future. So we are going to deal with this new. It's not that new. Is now topic regarding AI Red Hat in the IML domain, because we are going to release our managed services called the Red Hat OpenShift Data Science soon in GA, and we want to in this OpenShift Coffee Break start to also deal with this topic and having discussion with people that have a knowledge on that extent.
Yeah, Fabio, thanks for the reminder. We will have at the end of the session also a reminder for the next show. We're going to kick off an AI/ML series here at OpenShift TV. The core is that Red Hat is new to this because we're investing in the open source of this, no? So as you know, everything here is open source. Now Red Hat is also investing in the open source with Open Data Hub, with Jupyter Notebook, TensorFlow, all this fantastic tool. And we are also there with the open source. So I think and I hope the Hackfest can join also this block on it, because all the architecture is fully open source, so we can easily also add these bits. I would like to come back to the participant and winners to ask you what was your challenge. I understand from someone was the maybe at the beginning the complexity, but what was the challenge for you during the implementation, and what you liked the most from a technology perspective? Who want to start?
I'll go. Yeah. So I mean, complexity aside, I think one of the challenges initially was kind of bringing in a kind of remote team into like a home network, and just kind of sharing access to all of our devices or the OpenShift cluster and all that stuff. But I mean, I think that was a problem to solve. And maybe just to mention, based on what other people have said, there's also, I think you also learn quite a lot from your competitors. So the people that you're participating with, Piros presented their solution in our same demo slot, and they also did really cool work, and there's a lot of things that we enjoyed that they did that we potentially would like want to implement in the next iteration if we're going to do the exact same blueprint. So I think we learned a lot from that. Something that I enjoyed, so most of our team, that we do have Java developers, but the team that was pretty much working on this wasn't Java developers at all. So Quarkus and Java was new to us. We really enjoyed the Quarkus framework, and didn't struggle to getting it going or kind of working on it. We used the machinery service that Andrea and the team provided, kind of just added on top of it. But we also built a fresh service that sat on the Snow device. So that was really, really fun to learn and get into, and kind of learn a bit more Java than we've had to know in the past. So that was cool. Yeah, and I think that was kind of the best learnings from our side.
Thanks. Look, good feedback. Do you folks have any additional thoughts? Dennis, Dan?
I could only say I will keep it short. I was lucky that I had a really experienced team, that we had different coverage of technologies that they are experienced with. So we had developers, but we had also a guy who was really strong in the infrastructure. So we had that luck that it was that they had the needed experience to cover all this stuff. So it went smooth, I can say.
Because it's the second time for you, no? And I guess the same, Dan, for you, the second time in the Hackfest, maybe you already know the mechanism. I think, Andrea, the architecture was actually also updated, and it's updating every time. But Dan, what was the experience for you?
Okay, I'm the first time participant, but
okay.
The company were like for the company it's the second time. But yeah, what were the challenges? So overall, we were a really young team, so not that deep technical knowledge in some fields, but we had one who was more to leading us in the infrastructure section. So that was a great help to setting up everything. What was great, or what went well, was overall the communication and the time that we the time slots we found to actually work on the Hackfest. We used like 2 hours a day away from our normal customer projects. So that worked pretty good.
Cool. I have a question, Andrea, and if you have any question in the chat, please send to the chat. We will send to the people here. I have a question. So, how to keep collaborating with the Hackfest? So the winners here, if they want to keep working with the Hackfest, how can they do that?
So actually, if you could share show again the screen I'm sharing, Natalia,
Yes.
please. And I would love to reconnect to what Sigan said earlier. So Sigan joined our community right after the Hackfest. I understand we are not paid to play with the community, and this is again contribution from people volunteering, right? So we just have fun and bring something back to our corporate communities. Sigan is actually investigating Microshift on RHEL and the Fitlet device together with some other old community members, or we can call them community leaders. So this is again, is already something we are investigating. And the collaboration with Intel continues on this, because we will keep working and thinking of new verticals and AI/ML. Of course, I had already some debates with Tim in the past. This is something we want to go for definitely in the future. Everybody can join the community. The links are there. So we call that QIoT community simply because the QIoT was the name of the first run of the Red Hat Hackfest. We started that as a pilot.
Why QIoT, if I may ask?
Yeah, the idea was back in the days, during when the pandemic exploded, it was just myself and my Black Panther here. Now he's sleeping, trying to figure out a way of bringing technology to people and make it easier, right, to understand. From the technology standpoint, everything is doable, right? So understanding the why is important, is the key. As I work with partners all the time, it's a lesson learned from my side, and thanks to this gentleman here, is that you have again to give a business meaning to the technology. So we started with Quarkus on IoT, or for IoT, bringing technology to edge devices, bringing cloud native, because Quarkus is a cloud native framework, to the devices, Kubernetes, container technology, and Java, which is the programming language I love the most. Then we started mixing programming languages, not in the same application, but using the microservices technology and recommended practices. That's why afterward, thanks to Intel, we wanted to do something more at the edge. So with the edge servers, Intel NAC got certified on single-on OpenShift. That's an effort that Intel added, and I would love to hear from Matti as well on this perspective. An effort that Intel wanted to make, simply because they believe that this is the way to go. No? Collaboration, edge computing, these new challenges, bringing more partners and more customers in the same environment, in order to, first of all, give a continuity to what they do on a daily basis at the customer side, and also to give them an opportunity to understand what they can do in the future with the same partners, because to the customers, not Red Hat, Intel, they are partners, as well as LSD or Viada or Piros or all the others, right? So having spreading more awareness means in turn giving people the opportunity to start with a project, or think of a technology stack with less potential issues in mind, right? So this is doable. Let's do it. We have a community of experts. Let's speak to them in order to have more insight, in order to know where to go and how to do stuff.
Can I jump on that a little bit, Andrea? I mean, from an Intel perspective, it's also really good to learn from what the community is doing, learn from what the industry finds valuable. And we talked about AI and ML, but there are a lot of other topics. There was just a link pasted in the chat So you can see sort of at a high level what's happening between Red Hat and Intel from a capability perspective, the things that we are working on. So AI and ML is one, but things like voice. Voice is a great workload for edge computing. We have solutions in that space. There's technology in there about secure device onboarding. If we have all these edge devices, how do you manage them? How do you onboard them to the network? These are questions that we need to figure out in an easy deployable way. I was so excited to see, you mentioned single node OpenShift on the NUCs, right? I don't know who did it. I think maybe it was somebody here, but somebody published a blog on, okay, here's how you install it, here's how you run it. And by the way, it's up and running. I thought it was in like 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Sorry, I can't remember. But those are the types of things that we love to see, right? The technology is being used, here's how you do it, and the community is sharing amongst each other how to leverage it. So yeah, we're open to input. We're open to seeing, what can we do here? We have different forms of compute, right? We talk about generic x86, but there's more out there that we can bring in here as well. And lastly, I think it was Fabio. You just mentioned roads, the data science. So I can disclose actually already public. We have done a lot of work in that space to optimize roads on the Intel architectures, and you can benefit from those optimizations in some of the frameworks like OpenVINO or the AI toolkit that we put in there. So there's lots to explore. So I just feel like, we have this toolbox and all these things to take from. We just need to figure out which are the right things and which are the ones that we think are applicable. And again, that's where Hackfest is so fantastic, because here you have live partners, customers actually testing and running these things. And yeah, the proof is in the pudding, is what they say.
I love this sentence. Thanks, Matty, for reminding what Red Hat and Intel are doing for Industry 4.0, and you can see the link in the chat. But also, I'm glad to hear what Intel and Red Hat are doing for supporting AI ML workloads for Red Hat OpenShift Data Science, which is very cool new offering from Red Hat, and I put the link in the chat if you want to try it out. And I'm really glad to hear this collaboration is active also in that side. But I see Andrea is sharing now the blog post you were talking about, and I'm making sure to have the link, Andrea, if you can. I will take the link.
Yeah, I'll share it with you here, and you can put it in the official chat. Thanks.
Yes. Thanks. So this was that blog post, no? That Matthew was talking about.
So Mario participated in the Hackfest during the second run, and then he joined Red Hat afterwards. He's one of the champions participating in and contributing to the community. And he did it in a few hours. No, Andrea, I did it. Okay, let's do a blog post on this. Let's share what we learned. Let's share what we can do. And yes, exactly, Matti. So there is also a blog post about RHEL for Edge on the Fiddler 2 from Andreas. Andreas Stolzenberger is another fantastic RHEL and Ansible expert. He's a colleague of mine. He works in my team. And this is the blog post around rolling out RHEL for Edge on Fiddler 2. You have several information there. Probably this article, and let me put the link here in the.
Yeah, I already put in the chat. Thanks, Emma.
Thanks, Natal. So probably this article is a bit outdated, because now Red Hat is about to, or is already up and running. And then Natalia, correct me if I'm wrong. A new tool to create already RHEL for Edge images ready to be rolled out into Edge devices. And this is quite important, because these two gentlemen, together with others, again, you will meet in a month from now, they added, of course, security, distributed security through mutual authentication. So it was funny that during at the end of the Hackfest, after the deployment phase, the participants, so the teams, are asked to present their outcome, right? And the sessions get recorded. And a few of the participants, they said, "Oh, Andrea, we are happy you added distributed security through mutual authentication and certificates, because this is something we have, we are already comfortable with and we use for our end customers." And that was just a very nice confirmation of our vision. The value proposition of the Hackfest is to give to partners and the end-to-end customers something that they care the most. Right? We of course demonstrate the technology stack to the end customers, but we also want to add something that the customer asks for usually, but that is normally not included in POCs or demos. Right? I can remember, if I can get one more minute, I remember when I joined Red Hat as a consultant, middleware consultant in Italy, I've been asked several times, Andrea, could you please implement security with certificates? Could you please implement Kerberos securities on containers? And I had that experience from my previous jobs, because I was working for different companies in different verticals and areas. So this is something that is probably, the security is probably the most important thing to customers. And that's why we are trying to build complex solutions, why we introduce complexity in the use cases, and why we want our ecosystem learns what's the security proposition from Intel and Red Hat. That's the key.
Thanks, Andrea. Let me, if you you don't have to share any more of the screen, I will turn it off. And there's the link in the chat. So if you in the chat, if you have any question, please send a question in the chat. We have still a couple of minutes. I would use this minutes just to, Fabio, to close up and to send appointments. Iveta, I would like to hear from you. What do you think about any future edition? What the next edition would be about?
Well, the next edition, it's a good question, I think, right now. So we are really discussing how to, of course, take this experience and opportunity we have as partners to the next level. And well, hopefully we will have a next edition of Hackfest this year. We don't know yet any details how this will be organized, and I really hope that we can work with our partner Intel on that again. If we have the new one, from the topics or let's say use cases that we would like to maybe focus on in the future, it was mentioned here during the discussion several times. Also to extend it from the, let's say, edge area also to maybe machine learning topics, because this is the future. And also you and Fabio, you were mentioning that actually to work with the data and again to use it with in let's say solutions and project using Red Hat technology. This is also future for us. So, but nothing is now set in stone, so I cannot promise anything concrete, but I know that the partners are asking for it. There are several open, let's say, open topics, open windows for us. So please stay tuned. And yeah, the partner community is here. We somehow kick it off. And I think this is also super valuable for partners, that they know with whom to collaborate, and maybe they will create some discussions and some topics and some suggestions also for us. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Thanks. It looks it's we need to build this new edition of the Hackfest. I hope we can make it again with this awesome collaboration. From this episode, what I got is there was a very good collaboration across partners, technology partners. This became a really good opportunity to also to innovate, right? Because we think here in Red Hat, innovation goes through open source, and I'm sure you all agree on this statement, right? Thanks to innovation, thanks to open source, we go into innovation today. Fabio, we have some final reminders for the show, but before we close up, let me thank all the participants today. First, let me start with the winners for the Hackfest. Congratulations again, LSD Open, Congratulations, Piros. Congratulations, Viada. So, Sigan, Dennis, Dan, really congratulations. And let me thank you also, our technology partner, Intel. Thanks, Matty and Tim, for joining today. It was a pleasure to have you and hear from you. Thanks to Iveta and Andrea for joining us, talking about the Hackfest. We would like to close up, Fabio, with some reminder for the next episodes.
Yeah, sure. Probably we are going to, as we mentioned already before, to the next topic should be around IML. We don't want to disclosure the full content, but yes, please join the next session, because definitely AML will be. We are going to start a series, not just one episode, because we have a lot to tell, a lot of news. So please join the next session, and I hope we will enjoy it.
So Fabio, just a reminder to our attendees, this is a weekly show now, right? So we are live on Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. set time. So it's okay also for South Africa, as I understand that we are in the same, at least your Sigan, for your city, no? We are in the same time zone, or one hour less or more?
1 hour more, as far as I know.
Okay. So almost you're kind of a 9 a.m. our 10 a.m.-ish, right?
It actually might be later then, because it's about to be noon. So yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
one hour late. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is in kind of this time zone. We are live on every Wednesday, 10 a.m. set time. Next episode will be with Fabio talking about the Microx, a tool for mocking APIs. We will have Laurent, our guest. And then on February 23rd, we will have our episode about AI ML. So I shared in the link the chat for our schedule. You can see all the whole schedule of OpenShift TV. Today, OpenShift TV also has other shows, the Level Up, Ask an Admin. So you stay tuned here on OpenShift TV. And also, we have some reminder to do. Fabio, there are other two very cool events happening today. One is the OpenShift Commons, which is where the OpenShift community gather and talk about topic around OpenShift. The topic of today is GitOps, is another very popular topic together with AI ML. GitOps is very trending topic if you also think about MLOps, for instance. Today we'll have our gathering about on OpenShift talking about GitOps, but also for EMEA partners, we have an event happening already in this moment, but for the whole day, which is OpenShift in action. It's an event where Red Hat partner showcase their product on OpenShift. Let me put also the link in the chat. If you like to join, it's free. You can register and join this event. It's happening now. And those are our appointments. I would like to leave the final word to the organizer of this fantastic Hackfest, Andrea. Do you want to close up?
Oh, thanks, Natalia. No, I just want to thank Iveta and all the other Hackfest contributors, because the work, as the guy said, is huge, and the outcome is takes time and to come. But I believe this is a fantastic opportunity to build something together. Let me thank Matti and Tim, because they gave me a lot of strength. It's not just about funding the event; it's about sharing energies, and it's a continuous learning from them as well, and our amazing partners, because it's already 2 or 3 times some of them join. We learn from each other. We build something great together. And of course, they are compulsory to the business, because they can give to companies like Red Hat, Intel, or any other technology vendor a perspective of what real customer challenges are. So we would do nothing without them. So thanks a lot again, everyone, for this, and looking forward to the next event, the next Hackfest. Please join the community if you want to learn. Please join the community if you want to collaborate, if you have any request, if you want to have a debate, because we have also weekly meetings. So please have a look, join us, ask, contribute.
And we will have our community meeting next month on March. So
March
check the
9th.
calendar. We will meet the Hackfest community members to hear more.
Sorry, Natale.
Yes.
Thanks to the amazing Natale and Fabio.
Thank you. It's
You are fantastic, guys. You are fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you today. This will be recorded, and the same link you have in YouTube will be the same link to check the recording after the session ends. Thank you, everyone, and talk to you soon. See you soon. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, bye.
Cheers.